William F. Buckley Jr., the famous 20th century writer and commentator, once could only dream of a time like this, with conservatives in power in the White House, Congress, and the Supreme Court. Robert Costa has the tale of a man who helped design this new world.
Would you welcome William F. Buckley, Jr.
On late-night television, he was often a guest, and sometimes a subject.
This whole thing smacks of kind of a left-wing conspiracy paranoia, if you catch my drift.
He had his own show, too, Firing Line.
You have a right to, say what you believe, and, have a right to say what I believe.
Sure. Let's not fight over it.
For decades, William F. Buckley Jr. was a one-of-a-kind character, author, columnist, and a celebrity intellectual.
And I thank you for your views.
You're very welcome.
But beyond that stardom and upper-crust accent was something consequential. Bill Buckley was a conservative who sought to propel the nation to the right.
Buckley invented cultural politics.
Former New York Times Book Review editor Sam Tanenhaus says we are still living in the world created by Buckley.
Is there a line from Buckley to McCarthy, to Goldwater, to Nixon, to Reagan, to Gingrich, to Trump?
You have just drawn the fever chart or outline of the modern Republican Party in America. He's the founder of the movement we have today.
Buckley, who died in 2008, would have turned 100 this year. Tanenhaus's sweeping new biography is Buckley, the life and the revolution that changed America.
Yale is ground zero of William F. Buckley's life.
Buckley's beginnings can be traced back to Yale University, which now houses an extensive archive of his personal papers.
How did you get through all of this?
I tried my best to get as deep into everything as I could.
From here, Buckley burst onto the national scene in 1951 with God and Man at Yale, a book which took on his alma mater as a thicket of secular professors and liberal elites.
He was 25 years old, handsome Ivy League graduate who has everything going for him, but he's also going to reveal the secrets of the ivory tower.
In 1955, he founded National Review, seeking to provide conservatives with coverage of their ideas and debates. I once worked there as a Buckley Fellow and reporter.
My function is to speak the issues as I understand them, and let's see how many New Yorkers are drawn to them.
Though he never held office, Buckley caused a stir when he ran for mayor of New York City in 1965 and mused that if he won, he would demand a recount.
He was really turning the party inside out. He was going to make the Republican Party the voice of the excluded middle class.
But as he built that new coalition, he also drew scrutiny and denunciations, especially on race. In the 50s and 60s, Buckley opposed key civil rights legislation and supported segregation. And he had his critics.
And I built the railroads under someone else's whip for nothing.
Buckley's views were rebuked at high-profile debates, be it with James Baldwin or Gore Vidal.
Stop calling me a crypto-Nazi.
By the late 60s, Tanenhaus says Buckley was seen as a central force, boosting Richard Nixon and, in 1980, Ronald Reagan, who won the presidency.
Bill Buckley reached his peak under Richard Nixon because Nixon needed Buckley.
Reagan didn't?
No, he didn't need Buckley. Reagan was a great pragmatist, and he knew that Buckley was still a movement guy.
Then came a new generation of louder, brasher conservatives, starting with Rush Limbaugh.
Welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program, a program exclusively designed for rich conservatives.
And in Washington, there was Newt Gingrich, who won the Speaker's gavel in 1994.
What did Buckley make of you and Rush Limbaugh becoming the new stars of the right in the 1990s?
I think we amused him. He was proof that conservatism could be smart and that you could win the argument. Buckley was a model of thinking about things and to say things that were true but not acceptable.
Gingrich, now a close ally of President Donald Trump, says the flame of Buckley still flickers inside the GOP.
Much of the critique that Buckley made at Yale of the intellectuals is the underlying fuel for Trump's assault on the Ivy League.
You see echoes of Buckley in what President Trump's doing with the universities today?
Yes.
What's the difference, in your view, between Buckley's conservatism and President Trump's conservatism?
Trump is the most effective anti-liberal in my lifetime. I think Trump focuses on doing and achieving more than on knowing. I think Buckley thought his role was to be a genuine intellectual. And that meant, obviously, he wouldn't be a particularly good politician.
He wants to defeat you, but he's going to defeat you with his vocabulary. And that is an aspect of democracy that's been lost.
Sam Tanenhaus says William F. Buckley Jr.'s legacy is complicated. His civility certainly stands out. Yet there is also an inescapable conclusion. Buckley paved the way for Trump.
If Trump is able, if he succeeds in some of the big things he means to do, then he may emerge as the single most powerful figure to come out of the movement William F. Buckley Jr. created all those years ago.